Yay! Okay, that's a bit better. The laptop is down here, so I'm going to be staring at this a lot of the time. But we're not quite set up, kind of, because there was like a whole fire going on in the building, and we had to like run downstairs. I had to run down 12 flights of stairs and then run back up 12 flights of stairs. So that was a big deal. Yay! Thanks, Elsa. I'm glad. So, hi, I'm Nikki, and welcome back to my channel. As you know, this is That's Where She Grows. And we're going to be doing a repotting today of my Syngonium Albos. They're not actually potted at all. I have them in a water propagation, as you see here. So we're going to be putting these into soil, and they're just bare roots in a glass that I got for my 30th birthday. And when this video actually gets posted later, I'm going to be putting in some of the footage from the fire trucks. There was like 3 fire trucks outside and probably like a dozen firemen all running around in their suits with their air tanks. It was interesting. So yeah, so it's been a bit of an adventure today. Leave it to me to try and figure out live, and then also have like the fire department, the whole fire department in the city here. So I have 4 of these Syngonium Albos that I am repotting today. Oops. And I have it set up like this so you can kind of like see what I'm doing as well. So I just have these like little like 3 or 4 inch containers. As well as I'm going to be using the ProMix Premium Orchid Mix, as well as the Premium Tropical Mix. For the aeroids, I like to just add a little bit of the bark. Also, this bark has some of the charcoal in it. So I like that, as I don't have to add charcoal separately. And this is just the Premium Potting Mix that I use as well. I like to pot everything in ProMix, because as I've mentioned before, they never have like fungus gnats or thrips or any kind of bugs in it. It's always like, my idea is like a clean soil. So how are you doing today, Elsa? Has your day been eventful like mine? I'm just putting a little bit of like soil in the bottom, and then I put like a little handful of the orchid bark. Then I add a little bit more soil. I'm gonna grab one of these guys. These came in such good condition, doing great. Thanks, Elsa. I was glad to see you here. But yeah, these Syngoniums came in just the other day. Was it 2 days ago? And they've been sitting in water so that they could rehydrate. They came in really good condition, as well as like the roots. The leaves are looking great. So I have no problem just putting them right into soil. They don't really need a whole lot of time because they came in really well, surprisingly. Oh no, mealies? You have your first case of mealybugs or spider mites that came in with your new succulents? Oh geez. Those are both not fun. I find that mealybugs are easier to get rid of than spider mites, hands down. For both of them, I do recommend, as that you've probably seen in my other video, Grub Grenade. For me, that has been the best thing for spider mites. In my grow tent, it was so bad. The spider mites were so bad that like it basically almost killed everything in my tent. So I tried everything, but the grub grenade actually worked. You sprayed them in the morning with alcohol and only had 91%. I hadn't sprayed the heck. Oh my gosh. That I could see that getting rid of the mealybugs. I've like the mealybugs, they're kind of gross looking, but they aren't as hard to get rid of as spider mites in my opinion. I know I have a weird way of potting stuff. Just sit with like the bag in my lap, so I don't like to like get dirt everywhere. And I literally just use like a kitchen spoon. So I just add some soil in here, and then I'll add a little bit more of the orchid bark. I don't add a whole lot, but I just like to break up the soil a little bit. Yeah, and also when it comes to doing like the mealybugs, I would say it's good to like check back on them and like redo your treatments like every week for usually a couple of weeks. It does kill them, not my plants. Oh, thanks, Elsa. Oh, I appreciate you. That's so sweet. Yeah, these elbows are pretty nice. I'm really excited. So there's actually going to be a unboxing video coming out on Monday of me unboxing these elbows, as well as a whole bunch of other plants, a lot of rare plants. There's like 30 something. That is a good video. I had so much fun making it. So I'm sure that you will like enjoy watching it. It was a lot of fun. So after like potting them, I like to just tap on the sides to really get the soil in the roots there. Don't mind the sun. So instead of packing the soil down on top, which can damage roots, I like to just tap the sides. It's a much more gentle way to get them situated. And then I add a little more soil on top. Yay! I know, isn't it just so fun watching me just play with dirt? Woohoo! All right, and there we have one. I love this leaf. Look, oh, so beautiful. I'm gonna water these in after, not necessarily right now because I don't have a catch, like a drip tray. I'll do that later. But I'll water them in really good to make sure that all the soil gets saturated, which will help compact the soil around the roots as well. And then as it dries, what I notice is sometimes you might have to add a little bit more soil again after. But that's just because I like the soil in my pots to be fairly high up. I usually like to keep the soil within an inch of the top, maybe like half an inch. So once again, I'm gonna just put a little bit of soil in the bottom, some orchid bark. A little more soil. Then this one's next. This one looks a little bit more juvenile than the first one that I potted. And this one leaf is a little bit damaged, but like this is an amazing specimen. So nice. So nice. So cute. This is going to be my last order from overseas. This unboxing that's coming up on Monday. The other one from Thailand was going to be my last order, but our weather here has been so nice. As you can see, it's super sunny. It's like 15 degrees Celsius here right now. Like it's warm out. And put a little bit more of this orchid bark in there. Now, normally I wouldn't even like add a lot of orchid bark or anything like that, unless you have like I don't normally add orchid bark to anything, but I like to overwater like plants for some reason. And adding orchid bark for me helps with the drainage. So if I do have one of those like weeks where I'm stressed out, I'm like, hey, I just want to water my plants a little bit more. The orchid bark helps with that because it helps drain the water rather than it just sitting in soil. So that's a little bit of a tip if you're like me and you love watering your plants. Adding something with a little bit more aeration to make it a little more chunky will definitely help. Like I water my plants once a week, which is on the weekends, like on a Friday or Saturday. But when I'm stressed out from school, like low key, I'll like supposed to be doing my homework and I'm like, hey, so this thing's looking a little thirsty. Whether it's or not, I will go and just start watering plants. It's such a bad habit, but that's what I do when I'm stressed. If anyone else has like bad habits that they do, like when they're like stressed out when it comes to their plants, let me know. I'm actually really curious if like I'm the only one. My camera guy would be like, what are you doing? Watering my plants again. I'm just settling the dirt in there again, all around the roots. And around that orchid bark. It's really bright. How many plants do I have? I have probably over 400 plants in my apartment. I haven't counted. The last time I counted, I had over 300 plants. And I've easily bought at least another 80 since then. I haven't counted. Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's really no floor space. There's no floor space. I'm looking behind the camera, like literally from behind the camera to the wall, it's just covered in plants. Behind my elliptical, there's plants. The whole house is a jungle. As you can see over here, this is like a dining area, like a breakfast nook. It's just, there's just plants under there, and that's actually pretty like spread out because you can see it. Everywhere else, it's a jungle. Needless to say, I like never have people over. Because there's no room. All right, so that one's nice and potted. I'll just be watering it after. And I have 2 more Albo Syngoniums here to pot up. If one of my elbows goes missing, I know it's definitely Brennan's fault, the camera guy, because he recently had ordered 2 Albo Syngoniums from the other company that I order in Thailand as well, Asian Plant Exports. And Syngoniums have issues shipping. They are quite delicate. And so it's usually hit or miss when you're ordering Syngoniums from overseas. And I think that's what increases like the cost of them as well, because they really don't ship well. And his are basically dead. So when he saw how mine arrived and they were just like in perfect condition, they shipped with Dragon Courier. They look amazing as you've seen so far. So he was trying to sneak off with some of my Syngoniums. But who can blame him? These are some pretty girls. And right here is a new growth coming through as well, if you can see that. So that's going to be cute. This one is like all white, but it's basically dead. So once again, I put some soil and some orchid bark in the bottom and just adding some soil. And I will be trying to work out some kind of like setup with my live. I haven't obviously mastered that yet, as this is my second live, I think, that I've done. So I'll have to figure something out with that. I'm kind of like between, do I get like a new laptop that I can do like homework on and also do like live better, or do I get like a new camera for like recording my videos, which like my camera is perfectly fine for like my regular recording, except for the sound. As you've probably noticed, I can't hook up a microphone to it for some reason. This one root, like, okay, I'm going to show you. This one root won't stay in the pot. He's sassy. He's a sassy root. I'm like trying so hard to get this thing like to stay. Half this video is going to be me trying to like stake this thing down. Okay. It's gonna take like 3 people. We good? You gonna stay in there? It just keeps springing back up. There we go. Okay, I think we're golden. I think we're good to go. I'm gonna add a little bit more orchid bark. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find out what happened with those firemen as well. Earlier, I was like, just my luck. I schedule like a live video, my first time scheduling it, have it set to go on, don't know what I'm doing in regards to that whole like setup. And like an hour before live, the fire alarms go off. And it wasn't a test at all. Like there was something going on, but who knows? I was out there recording the whole thing. I was like, hey, I'm going to start myself a new 2020 fireman calendar. The real firemen of Sarnia. I don't think anyone like really wants to see that though. Them in like 200 pounds of gear, standing around, standing outside their truck. my favorite part. I get to beat it up. Making a new song. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's see. Stay. Put a little more soil there. So glad your place didn't burn down. Hope everyone's safe. I think everyone's safe. They let us back in the building. Honestly, I don't know what happened. I'm just assuming that someone tried to start some science experiment in their kitchen. So I live right downtown, so there's always some sketchy stuff going on. Like literally the other day, as if you watch Monday's unboxing video that's coming out, I was talking about how I literally watched a guy like yeet 6 pizzas at some person. Like literally they were fighting and they just threw 6 pizzas, like whole pizzas at someone. I've seen a lot of stuff in my life. I've never seen someone attack someone with pizza. Like that's a new one for me. I thought that was like kind of ingenious. And then someone else came by and took the pizzas. Like some random person was like, "Ooh, free pizza." Went over and like hauled all these pizzas away. I'm just like, what on earth just happened? All right, so I have one more Syngonium here. Ground pizza is the best pizza. The pizza did not touch the ground, just the boxes of the pizza. Okay, I'm trying to get this one out. It's stuck in there with some variegated pina partitas, I think that's what they are. There's a whole bunch of other plants there. And a gigas. Okay, this one is a bit lackluster compared to the other two, but this one is dying. These 2 leaves are really nice though. There's no new growth coming from this. Oh, let me show you. I gotta show you something. She got a little something going on. Can you see that little nubbin right here? So that is going to be a new growth point. So it does have a little bit of a new leaf kind of coming out. That's going to take like 2 weeks, probably 2 weeks to recover from the planting shock, and then it'll start unfurling. I do notice once you get like a new plant and it recovers from the stress, like the shipping stress or damage or anything like that, they tend to push out new leaves a lot faster. Stressing a plant out like usually produces different like hormones or whatnot, encourages it to really grow. As long as you don't stress them out too often, which can make it grow slower. If you follow my Instagram too, there was my Monstera Thai Constellations putting out a new leaf. And this thing hasn't put out a new leaf since I bought it, like at the beginning of summer. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? It's in a grow tent under 1,000-watt LEDs. It gets everything it wants. So that thing has been slow growing. If you ever notice, I'm like obsessed with variegated anything. Give me a variegated cookie and I'd be like, yes, yes, it has stripes. I'm leaving that yellow leaf on the plant here just because I don't want to pull it off. I like if it's still taking like nutrients or sucking anything out of that leaf, like I'll just leave it on for a bit and I'll probably take it off like in a week. That's just me. That's just how I do things. I figure plants know what they want, plants know what they need. If it's killing off a leaf, like it will drop it if it wants to. I'm not trying to hurry it up. I'm throwing a little bit more orchid bark on top. The lighting keeps changing because of the sun. There was the most amazing sunrise this morning, actually. I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I went to bed at like 7 p.m. last night. I was so tired. And then I got up at 5 and started doing my homework. Like, I'm not joking. It was black outside. Like, it was dark. Sitting here doing my homework, and then I saw the sunrise. I was like, wow. The sunrise was really nice. I might put in a photo if I can. If I can figure out how to like add stuff to this while uploading it, I'll try and put that in there. As you know, I'm new, trying to figure stuff out. So don't hate me too much. Damn, even if I'm not new, I feel like I'm still new. Like, I never know what's going on. I never know what I'm doing. I'm not that person that's going to be like, I know everything. I'm so smart. I feel like no one knows everything. We're all just learning. There's always things to learn in the world. I'm a student of life. I'm just trying to fill in over here a little bit more because in this space, usually like it packs down really easily compared to the rest. So I like to try and fill that in a bit. I am so smart. SMRT. All right, so then there's that one. So that one's all done up. So this has been already like half an hour. So I think I'm gonna probably leave it at that. And I might do another live in the next like couple of days to repot up some more plants. Because I honestly have another 15 plants that need to be potted up that are in water as well, that are water propagating. If you watch Monday's episode, you'll know which ones are coming up. All of those plants, aside from the Syngoniums now, need to be potted. Definitely take a look, and then I will probably do a live of me actually putting them in water. So if anyone has questions, you can hit me up. But thank you so much again for joining me on another exciting episode of That's Where She Grows. Nikki and her albos. Let's see if we can get a family picture. Pretty. Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Love you long time. Mwah.